Hey there, welcome to my art layer. Today I wanted to play with these Bombay India inks. I got these a couple years ago and I really haven't played with them at all. I just really wanted them because I wanted to play with the inks, but I haven't really done a whole lot with them. So I had this DuraBright paper that's supposed to be good for using inks on. It's kind of like got this plasticky coating is what I'm going to call it. And it says that it is waterproof, which seems like a bad idea for inks, but it says it's good for inks. So I thought it'd be fun to just kind of play with this and maybe try and make this into like a reverse coloring page or something like that. So let's go ahead and get right to it and see what happens. Alrighty, yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing here. I'm just going to play. I'm going to start with this violet color because I really like the color purple. And just kind of, ooh. It is crunchy in there because I haven't used this in a while. Oh, that was a fun shape. I'm going to spray it with water. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Oh, those are cool. Oh, yeah. That's cool. Oops. Okay, I'm going to let that sit now. That's really cool. I like that a lot. It needs just a little bit more red over there. Okay, that is really cool. I love how that's out like that. That's really cool. Very veiny. I'm going to slide this one to the side. I'm going to try that again with a different piece. Put you like that. I'm going to wet it first and see what happens. And then just drop some ink on there and see what happens. That is really interesting. Okay, so wetting it first doesn't do the same thing. Interesting. I'm trying to just wipe this off and see if I can just wipe it off and start again. Oops. Well, the back is messy, but that's okay. Well, I will say they did not lie. This is waterproof. Like, I put water on there and it just beat it up. It didn't come off at all, so. There you go. It just barely starts to vein out a little bit. Oh, there it goes. That's cool. Oh, so cool. I love that. That's so cool. Okay, this is going to take a while for these to dry, so I'm just going to have to let them sit and dry, and then I'll have to come back later and see what it looks like once it's dry. So I'll see you in a little bit after these dry. Alright, I wanted to come back and revisit this one for just a moment because I feel like I want a little bit more of that red in the middle here. I like these spots around the outside, so I'm just going to try and drop a little bit more in the middle and then drop some water on there and let it kind of spread out a little bit and see if we can kind of make this something I like just a little bit more. And then we'll get an idea of whether it reactivates that blue ink underneath or not. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. It's so cool the way it just spreads out like that. I love that effect. This is just fun to watch, honestly. Like, if you have some paper like this, just give it a try. It is really satisfying to just watch it spread out the way that it does. And I'm going to weigh my plastic down so that it keeps my paper pretty flat here, because otherwise it'll spread where I don't want it to, in ways that I don't want to. So a little more red over there because I really like this red. That's so cool. Alright, I'm going to let that dry, and I think that is about it. So for maybe just a little bit more blue over in these spots over here. Maybe just no, I like that there. So just a little spritzy spritz. You just put on the corners there. Alright, yeah, that looks cool. I'm going to let that dry, and then I will come back in a little while and you can see what it looks like. Alright. I was also curious about how this would work on watercolor paper. So off camera, I just grabbed my pad of paper here and decided to try it out. And I sprayed water down first and then dropped ink on top. And it spread out kind of like you would expect from just like watercolor, like a wet on wet technique. But it spread out really quickly, and you did get some of that kind of webbing along the edges here as well, which I think might actually still happen with a watercolor. And then you got like that cool like webbing texture if I drop the ink and then spray water on top with watercolor paper as well. The kind of nice thing about doing it on watercolor paper is it soaks in a little bit faster, so you can do more things with it more quickly. But it does kind of, I don't know, it looks like we lost some vibrancy to the color because it soaked into the paper a little bit. And I think that it spreads out a little bit more. Like here, I've got more kind of sharper lines and things like that. So they do behave a little bit differently, but if you want to be able to work with it more quickly, go ahead and try it on watercolor paper and see how that works for you. As always, I wanted to thank you guys for sitting with me and watching me just kind of play with my art supplies. This was surprisingly satisfying to do. I really enjoyed watching as I sprayed it with water and you got those cool kind of veiny, webby textures coming out. That was very satisfying and a lot of fun for me to just kind of play with and see happen. Anyway, these are the final pieces. You can see this is the second piece that I did. I like this one. I think that if I did it again, I would probably put less ink on there so that you got kind of less muddiness in some areas. And then this is the first one I did. I really enjoy this one. I like all of the pinks and the blues kind of mixed together. I am thinking that maybe putting that extra red on there at the end overdid it a little bit, but overall I do really like how it looks. And I don't know if you can see that some of the spots are really shiny where there was extra ink that pooled up. So that's kind of interesting, that like if you want it to be a little bit more of a matte finish, just put less ink on there and you'll get a lot less shine. There's still a little bit of shine to just the paper itself because it is a polypropylene film, so there's like this kind of plastic film on there, so that is going to be a little bit shiny. If you guys have ideas of things that I could do with these, apart from just kind of displaying them as they are, if you know, you can think of some cool artwork or words or something that would be really fun to put on top, I would happily do that and just kind of have them displayed up behind me. I'll probably still pop them up on the wall behind me, just even as they are. But anyway, yeah, this was a lot of fun. The one thing that I did notice is that, as I mentioned, I think at the beginning, there are two sides to this paper. Obviously, it's paper. But one side is really smooth and the other side is not quite as smooth and slick. And I can see that the back side does not behave in the same way as the front. So if you want that sort of behavior, you got to put it on the smoother, shinier side for it to really behave the way you want. Otherwise, I think it does actually soak into the paper a little bit more like a regular paper or a watercolor or something like that. And like I said, I did try this on watercolor paper and it does work pretty well on watercolor paper. So if you don't have this DuraBright paper, you can absolutely do this with other papers. It might dull out the colors a little bit, but you definitely get that cool like veining texture with it. If you drop the ink on and then just kind of spritz it with a little bit of water, it'll still kind of web out just like that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you guys next week for a shorter video, and then in 2 weeks for a more regular video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.